Hi, welcome to Fathers Who Bother, a podcast for men who are dad as we want to be. I am your host, Jerry Barrow. Now, today, my next guest is a giant of media and a dear friend. You know him for his decades of work in the hip hop media space as a writer, editor, and producer. Whether it was with Double XL, King Magazine, or Vibe, you know his words and his cultural impact. But when he's not on a private jet to interview your favorite rapper, he's a husband and father to three beautiful young ladies who have gone viral for their own love of music. We'll get into that too. Please welcome my brother Datwon Thomas to the podcast.
I'm there, young Zell in the building. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for having me, man. You know I love this series, man. This is one of my favorites, and I always bother you about this and Nod Factor. So you know how I feel about it.
Indeed, yes, indeed. So, for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, I did for our 50th episode. I did a roundtable with my fellow hip hop journal dads, Chuck Creekmer, Rob Markman, and Jesus Trevino. Day was supposed to join us. Day, as has
I'm
been
doing
known
that
to be,
private jet.
yes. That Day was doing his private jet bi-coastal thing and couldn't join us. So the pod has been on hiatus for several years. I started it in 2020 during lockdown / pandemic. And then, life started lifing after 50 some odd episodes, and, work got in the way. And, I didn't have the bandwidth to do it. But now, a year out from being in media myself,
Yep, same.
I said, you know what? I want to bring this back, but I have to bring it back, um, the right way and with somebody that I really, really want to do this with. And had a conversation with my brother Datwon, and he was like, I got some time now. And I
Get
said, let's do it.
it.
Now, when I put it on the calendar, the date, it was really just me, because I just, me and my wife just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, went to Aruba and came, and I said, I need to thank you. I
Yes,
said,
yes.
let's just do it a week out from when I come back. So we came back on the 8th, and I said, I'll just schedule that a week out, and had no thought to what the significance of this date was. They didn't say nothing either. Date is like, you know what day that is, Jerry? I'm like, nah. So for the folks who may not be aware, why is October 15th significant to you now?
It's so wild, man. I'm guesstimating around this time last year, like 12:30. I'm probably just getting to the second hospital I had to go to after I had what's categorized as a heart attack, but it was an aortic dissection, which is where the aortic valve that pumps all the blood, it ruptured, and it's at the top of my heart. So it was disconnected from my heart, so my heart wasn't getting any blood to pump. The blood was just going into my body, and I became numb on my right side. And the first hospital they took me to was Nyack, and they didn't have any of the equipment to like open me up, and they didn't have the proper surgeons to do the operation. And then they were like, "Yo, we got to ship him out of here. He only got a little bit of time." So they were saying like, usually people that this happens to, you have about 15 minutes to live. That's how much probably I'm not a doctor, but I'm thinking probably how much blood you probably got left to pump that's not getting serviced. I survived for another 2 hours. Crazy. And they took me to the first hospital. They couldn't do anything. Then they took me to Montefiore in the Bronx, from Nyack Hospital to Montefiore. And they did an incredible job, man. My surgeon, Dr. Goldstein, call him the Rolly Rocket. He got like an ill Rolly. And it's a joke. The reason why I bring it up, because when I got out of the OR, this next day, and he came to visit. I'm up, and they said the first thing I said to him was like, "That's a nice watch."
You with the Jay-Z lines, even when
You
you
know
on
that
in the hospital.
I'm in the
Oof,
hospital
nice
sick as a
watch.
dog. I'm like, nice watch. Yo, he found that so funny, man. But they don't even know the J line like that. So I'm entertaining myself on a damn surgery bed. Like it's
Right.
crazy, man. I'm bugged out.
Oh my God. Only you,
Word.
man. Only
I
you.
know, man. Crazy.
So I know your family was integral in your path
Yes.
to recovery. When were you first able to speak to your wife and your
Yeah.
kids after what happened?
After probably around that time I was talking to the doctor because the only thing I remember waking up was my oldest daughter Taylor, and she had her hair out. And I was just looking at her like, what the hell is this? Where am I? I thought I was in the movie Oz, you know, when they all go dancing down the yellow brick road and Diana got the afro. That's how my daughter was looking. And that was the first time I really was able to communicate with them because I was out from the surgery. I was still out. And my daughter said, which was one of the reasons why Jamie Foxx's latest stand up really hit me hard. We talk about his daughter playing the guitar while and he could feel the vibes and stuff. And he said that his vitals started working. That really hit me because my daughters know who I listen to the most musically. So they played all Tribe Called Quest. They played all that and Dilla. They played nothing but Dilla and Nas. And they said that I was like tapping to it. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. It just
Bless the
goes to show
babies.
that I think music is so important. It's a spiritual thing and it hits our soul. So, you know, healing. They were giving me a different kind of medicine. You know, the doctors couldn't give me that medicine, you know.
That's why children, it's
Gotta have
such
them,
a
man.
blessing. It's such a they know daddy
They
better
know.
than
Yes, anybody.
daddy knows himself.
Exactly. They knew that's what I needed, you know, and my girls, they were all over because my oldest, who was doing all that, she flew up from Atlanta immediately. Middle was in Albany. She came down, and then my baby was coming from school.
Mm.
And you know, my sister came. It was just a full on family effort. My cousin Al, he left a bus in Brooklyn. He drives a bus. He left all the people and everything and just got off and was like, they'll handle that. And he jumped in, and him and my wife, they were the ones that really made sure everything was right for me. You
Big
know what I'm
shout
saying?
to the missus.
Yeah.
I didn't know. The way we found out was that our group chat went quiet.
Yeah.
Me and Chuck was like, "Yo, we ain't heard from Day in a while. What's it's not like him not to at least chime in and respond or something." This is why I said to everybody, "Yo, check on your friends, check on your quiet friends,
Yep.
because
Got you. Got you.
if you haven't heard from someone in a while, there might be a reason." And
Yep.
um, I was like, "Yo, something's not right." And then eventually got in touch with Neek, and she was like, "Yo, this is what happened."
Yeah.
And so I know she's a great woman, so I know she
Yes,
held you
indeed.
down. And um
Automatic.
what
Automatic.
was it
I
what
wouldn't
was
have
it
been
like
able.
being what's that
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask a question.
now saying what was it like being parented by your kids
Yo,
in
it
your
was
recovery?
wild, man. It was wild because they were like, to this day, it's a year later, they'll call me, you took your medicine? Like, you took it today? You sure? Stop playing. Stop playing. I know you ain't take you took it, Dad. Like, and they all check on me, man. And it's such a beautiful thing because I think about how I was doing that with my mom before she passed,
Mm.
and you become their caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And your mom, you good? You went to that appointment. You need me to come get you. You know, did you take this? Like, what's going on? What the doctor said and all of that. Like being on top of that, I would have never thought. And I have kids. I would have never thought that that role reverses. And they're checking on me and like, yo, you got when's the next appointment? What they say? Did they break it down for you so you could understand it? So my bond with my girls just like I don't even know what to call it. They're like literally now that they're older, 25, 22, and 18. They're literally like my best friend, and I'm still able to be their dad. You know what I'm saying? We was growing up, it was like I ain't one of your little friends. I'm one of their little friends now. You know what I'm saying? And my
I
relationship,
think our
yeah,
generation has we struck the balance, like
hmm
the Gen X parents. So I know we get a lot of flack for a lot of various things, but I think because our generation, a lot of our peers didn't grow up with dads, we worked really hard to reverse that.
yep,
Um,
yep,
I was
yep.
grateful, thankful enough that my father was in my life, but
That's dope.
that wasn't the case for a lot of us. So we've tried to go the other way. It's like we're gonna be good parents, but we still
We're gonna be what we didn't have.
right. We're gonna be what we didn't have, but we feel a closeness to our kids. I don't know. For me, like, and my youngest is in high school. I have such vivid memories and recollections of high school that I feel more of a kinship with them than I ever did because I'm like, I know what you're
Yes,
going through. I
yes,
remember what you were going through. So that gives me an empathy that I don't think I got from my parents in that way. They were just like, go to school, get good grades, da 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 da. There was no, you know, when my youngest is like, I don't want to take, I don't know if I want to take advanced placement, geometry, dad. I'm like, well, this is why I think you should. It'd be good for you. It wasn't just
yes.
like, do this. Like I said, do it. I'm
Right,
like, listen, because I did and I was able to do X, Y, and Z, this is why I think it's beneficial to you. I think that makes us more complete parents. I don't want to say necessarily better, but I think
right.
we're
More
more complete
complete,
parents.
more complete because I think the aspect that you're talking about of our parents not having that completeness, it was the absoluteness of their authority.
Yep.
The absoluteness, like, nah, this is what you're gonna do. That's it. Now, I think because of, you know, in the world that we're in and the fact that we have technology and all these different things, we're able to emotionally connect in a different way and say, like, hey, here's reasoning behind my opinion and my suggestion as a parent to you. Because my kids are
Facts.
older now. Like, they do what they want.
Yep.
But I've been there. So let me impart some wisdom and some experience on your journey to help you so you don't necessarily crash out or make a wrong move.
Yep.
I'm that guardrail for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? I've been there. That's why the guardrail is there because I've been there.
Trust me on this one. Trust me.
Word, word.
So I want to go back in the time machine a little bit. Uh, Take me back to the moment you found out you were going to be a dad for the first time.
Oh, oh man. See, this is ill. Like one of your best friends is an ill ass journalist, man. I mean, forgetting like y'all nice. Like you do this. It's like this my man. He do this. What do I expect? Damn, Jerry, man, that's such a dope question. Um, I remember the first time Neek had called me, and I was leaving the office with my man Kavaz.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember Kavaz,
Mm-mm.
light skinned brother. He used to make beats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I got the call, we were going into the Gap store
Mm-hmm.
just to get like a shirt or whatever, and he called me on my cell. I was like,
Hold on. Lost you for a second. I think you're back.
yeah, I think it was I had a call come in.
Okay. Okay.
boss, and we were going into the Gap store. And I'll never forget, I was like picking up a shirt. I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" I was like, "I'm be home in a minute. I'm over at the Gap store and come by." She was like, "You at Baby Gap?" It was like something to that effect. I don't know if it was that exact word, but it was like, we're like, "What? What are you talking?" She's like, "Yo, pregnant." I was like, I was bugging. I was bugging. I was in the store like, "Yo, bro, I don't even know if you remember that, but that's how I remember it. And my wife will probably say something totally different. But that's how I remember it. That was for Tay. Nay, she told me at home. And for Tamia it was crazy because I just knew she was gonna be a boy. I was like, this is the boy who had my little guy. This is my boy. So I'm at Double XL. I'm in the Harris office. I knew Nick was pregnant. But when I knew it was gonna be a girl, this is how it happened. She called and was like, "Yo, they know what we having." And I was like, "Word." She's in Long Island, like by Roosevelt Field.
Yeah.
The doctor's office was across from that, from the
Yeah.
mall. I'm on 25th and 5th or Broadway, wherever the office was. I said, "I'll be there. Hustle, hustle." And I'm saying, hold on, like it's a boy, like hustle. I'll be there. She was like, "All right, hurry up." It took me like an hour to drive from there to Long Island.
I know
I
that
bust,
drive.
I bust in the joint. Boom! I'm like, "Yeah, they got it up on the screen." And the doctor was like, "What do you see?" I was like, I don't see anything." He was like, in the genital area." I was like, "I don't know. I don't see." He was
I don't
like,
see no Franken beans.
"Exactly. It's not no freaking beans." And I know my boy gonna be blessed. I was like, "I don't see the blessing."
You
He was
stupid,
like,
man. You stupid.
"Bro, I swear to you, bro." Even Nick was bugging. I was like, "Yo, man, another girl for real?" He's like, "Yep, another girl. You got three, bro." I was like, "Oh," and it wasn't even like a disappointment. It was more like I had built up in my head that it was a boy. So I automatically I had the name ready. I was like, "Oh yeah, we about to rock." And then had to super pivot.
Hmm.
Like, I'm over here
Yeah, when you have
crazy.
the names ready, it's a whole other ball
It's a whole
game.
different thing. But then she ended up becoming like the tomboy of my daughters because she was the one that was like, she went through her skater phase. Like she was like right here, like this is the side of my house right here. She's in our driveway doing alleys and kick flips and stuff, learning like still watching videos of like uh, Tony Hawk and all of them and Paul Rodriguez and everything. And she was getting skater clothes and all that. She went through that whole phase when she was in her early teens. And I was like, oh, there go my boy.
You mentioned the names. I noticed they all have the T going on. What
Yes, they all
inspired
got
the
T.
the, the T naming?
Dope question, man. Question. So I'm a little crazy with it. So my wife's name, even though we've been saying Neek all this time, my wife's name is Tanika. So, the T started with her, and I said if we ever had any boys, it'll be D names.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole thing. We never had any boys, so it was all T. But what was crazy was like I wanted their names to have some kind of phonetic or sonic resemblance to mine. So Taylor was a mix of day, Tay, and the la. My mom's name is Carmela, and my grandmother's name was Leela,
Mm.
I did Taylor. So it's a mix of like the T version of day, Tay, and La. Yeah, Taylor. Tanae is also like the nay is also like a day type of thing. And then to me, I got lazy.
Wait. So you just named her after the singer? Like, how did you come with to,
I just named after the singer, man. It was crazy.
no, for real, for real? I'm just bucking. I'm
I'm bugging too because I think that's what I did. I was like, oh, I love the name Tamia. That joint with Fab was my shit around that time. This is '07. So this is the other part though. I named her after an actual woman though.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Her middle name is Denise. Um, and I named her that because when she was born, we didn't have a middle name for her yet, and we were at the hospital, and they were like, "Yo, you gotta fill this out." So we had the Tamia. We just and all of them have D middle names. So that's my
Oh, that's how the Datwon comes in.
they all got D middle names. My wife has
Got
a D
it.
middle name. Taylor has a D middle name. Tanae does, and then Tamia. I couldn't think of another D name for her.
Mm.
So while my wife, she just had her, I had to go get the family some food because we're all in the hospital.
Mm.
I took the car, and since we over by Roosevelt Field, I went to Grand Lux.
Oh, I
That's
know.
over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So we do the order. When the receipt came back, the lady was so nice. The cashier she was like, "Oh, you just had a baby." Da, da, da." And I looked and it said, "Your server, niece." I said, "Damn, nice looking white lady."
A white lady named Denise?
White
Interesting.
lady named Niece.
I wouldn't have guessed that one. Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
god.
That's how the names came about.
That's fly. That's fly. I like that.
Yeah.
You like because when I spoke to Sha Money Excel, all his have S's, and he's
Wow,
got like
shy. Yeah.
yeah.
He went all the way.
He went all the way with it. And he's got
He
like
went all the way.
6 or 7. I forget how many. He's got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So
They Haitian. They got a bunch of kids.
go back to that episode if you're listening. Sha Money Excel. That was from season like 2 or 3.
That's what's
Um,
up.
that's fire. So when you had your first, where were you in your career when you had your first?
Ooh,
What?
ooh. Wow. Taylor was born August 23rd, 2000.
Mm,
I was messed up, bro. It was crazy because I had the year prior, late '99, I had left Double XL. Elliot was coming in to Double XL, and me and Black Spot were leaving because, like, at this point, Elliot would have been our third editor in chief in a year and a half. And it was like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, this is crazy. And at that time, I had pitched the idea for King. It wasn't named King at the time, but it was a men's lifestyle magazine that I felt Harris should have done.
yeah.
I knew it would work because I was the one that used to do the letters section of the magazine. So I got all the feedback from all the consumers and viewers and purchasers or whatever and readers, and they would always say what they wanted in the mag. So I was like, you know what? They all talking about the rims on the cars, talking about the pants that the dude got on, they're talking about the girls that they in the videos and stuff. I was like, yo, if we combine that and make it a mag like Maxim or stuff, we could kill. They told me no. And I was like, nah, da da da. But I was 99. We Black Spot and I got offered when everybody was running to the internet,
Yep.
the .coms 360 volume that we got offered the most money we ever got offered with hook.com. And the thing that made Hook different from the others was that it had the e-commerce angle to it. So this for Karma Loop. So we were doing like all the hip hop content, but we also was selling like 555 Soul, Aniche, Star John, all of that. that company was flying high until the .coms bubble burst. And as all the other .coms were crumbling, ours was crumbling too. But the crazy part about my thing was I became editor in chief of it, and it was so bad. It was like a sinking ship because every 2 weeks someone was getting fired.
Mm.
Now, mind you, it started around August of 2000. Hey, I'm having my first baby. We just got married like months prior.
Mm. Your
So,
2000 wedding too?
yep, yep,
What,
June
what?
2nd.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yep, 25, 25, 25.
Okay. Okay.
Word up. So we had Tay. We're still living in Brooklyn in the apartment. We ain't have the house yet.
Yep. Same.
And, the money was decent, but the opportunity was I didn't see any growth. And now that everyone is starting to get let go, we go into 2001. At the top of 2001, we go from like 60 something people, 70 people to about like 18. I'm one of the 18. So imagine each week you seeing people getting clipped. Not only getting clipped, all my friends that we all went as a crew. It was me, Black Spot, Jermaine, Murph, Shaheen, Boss, Mahogany, Vicky. We just took out
Mentioning a
bricks.
murderer's row of hip hop
Yeah,
journalism by now, folks.
it's
If you're paying
crazy.
attention.
We had everybody, bro. We had really good content, man. That
Yeah.
that was a special time in my life of making really dope shit. So not only were they so dope, they were they weren't even getting fired. They were getting plucked. Jermaine goes to the source.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, my man going to the source. All right, cool, cool. I'm happy for them, but I'm still here. I'm like, all right, bet.
Yep.
And then Shaheem goes to MTV. I'm like, ah, shit. I'm happy for him. But I'm like, they ain't gonna pick me.
Right. 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 Right.
I forgot where Murphy went. Everybody was going to fly spots too. So I'm like, damn, man. I got Tay. I'm trying to get this money up. I don't know if they're gonna keep this job or whatever. And Dennis paid it. Well, actually, Don Morris hit and was like, "Yo, remember that idea you pitched before you left? I think it's time. They've been talking about trying to do some stuff in that arena." I was like, "Word, y'all finally know that my shit is dope." Took you a year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a meeting with Dennis
Mm-hmm.
like that April. That May, I was back at Harrow, and I was producing King. So Taylor grew up with me building King, and we did that for 9 years. Yeah.
What was it like being a girl dad, but then going
Yes.
into the office
Yes.
and you're dealing with video vixens and
Great.
I'm sure you're dealing with all the criticism of, oh, you're exploiting women, and some criticism valid. I'm not going to act
Yeah.
like, we weren't a little out of pocket back in the days, but
When I look back at some of the cover lines, I was like, damn, I
yeah.
said that.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
So
I couldn't believe it.
talk to me about what was that like for you, balancing that professional identity as
Yeah,
Playboy Day, and then you're going
I know.
home and
It
you're
was wild, bro. It was wild because I had to have the full buy-in from my wife. She had to understand, like, yo, I'm good. I ain't bugging out. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. This is for the money, baby. I'm here for the money. I'm here to get the butters. That's it. But on the outside, I thought we were gonna be criticized way more,
hmm,
and we weren't.
hmm,
So I was so used to getting by at like all these different panels and different women groups that might get together and corner me and be like, "Oh, y'all objectifying women. Y'all putting black women in this kind of light." Da da da. So when it would happen, I would be shocked because I wasn't used to it because we're so classy and tasteful with our coverage of like, and we were supportive of the women that we showcased. We always asked them like, "Hey, what is it you want to do? Let's get those things out there." Some women got movie deals behind that. We helped so many women get out what they wanted to outside of just being a video vixen or a song star or whatever or an actress. They started making money off some of that. It became lucrative for them. But it was funny, man. Like the women that were critical, they'll come up to me and da 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 da. By the end of the conversation, when can I get in?
Because what people don't remember, King had great editorial, so it wasn't just the pictures. The pictures are what got people in the door. But if you opened up the mag, there was some great writing. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but there was some great writing
Man,
in
you
King.
got classics with us, man. You got classics with us, bro. And that was the thing. And I was with Jermaine last night at this event, who was, you know, number two for many years with me at King. It was his dedication to editorial excellence that made us that shit. Because, he's Mr. Graydon Carter from,
Mm-hmm.
he's Vanity Fair. He's
Yeah.
Vogue. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's Esquire GQ.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm fucking on the go, stress, source. You know what I'm saying? I'm the grimy shit.
Yeah. You put that chocolate with the peanut butter though, and you get a great book.
You get a great book, man. And the fact
Mm-hmm.
that we play off each other in that way, it was just like it was just the fact that we were the perfect match on the editorial side, which made for a great entertaining mag. If you bought that mag with your $4 or whatever the hell it was,
Mm.
you got your money's worth.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
So
And I also, yeah, yeah.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I also just feel like we really put our heart and soul into that magazine. We really did, man. I mean, blood, sweat, and tears for real. Yeah.
For facts. So you had to get buy-in from the missus.
Oh yeah, she.
Now that your daughters are older, did
Yeah.
they ever give you any feedback on the magazine or your days working on King?
Just recently, I had to go into the storage the other day, and I had some of the mags out, and my daughters had just come home for the long weekend, just past weekend, and I hadn't seen them in a while, and I had the mags out, and they're older now. They were like, it was so crazy for us to be young seeing these. They were just telling me like how funny it was to be like walking by. It's like Tyra Banks almost naked walking by. There goes Ashanti, hips out. But they say now because they're on TikTok, they said that there's so many pages dedicated to that era, that Vixen era, that they're like, oh wow, my dad was a part of that. He helped make some of these photos. They're actually proud about it, and I hope they are because they put them through a lot of that Our Lady of Lords tuitions.
So something y'all have to understand. There was a window of time where both Day and I's kids were going to the same elementary school. So we would be heading to work, but then we would stop in Queens Village to drop our kids off, and I would see Datwon.
Yes, in the mornings,
And
bro, we be dropping
the
our kids off
and it was a beautiful thing because I felt like I had a code in this whole this hip hop
automatic.
shit. Like there was somebody else who understood.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I gotta leave. When when I was at the source, it was, "Are you leaving, Jerry?" I'm like, "Yo, I gotta go home."
I gotta go home.
Mel was pregnant with Justin when I started,
Yeah.
and she didn't understand closing
Oh,
and
closing
why
is
we were in
brutal.
the office so late. And she rolled up one time, belly out to here. Like, where is my husband? And I'm in my office like, hey, babe, what's going on? She's like, I thought you would be home by now. And I was
Look
like,
at
I
look at
thought
look at
I'd
the
be home
stack
by
of
now too.
look at these rounds. Look at these rounds.
Thought I'd be home by now too. I'm sorry. And like, she thought she was going to wait for me to be done to drive home. And one time she was like, okay, listen, I'll just see you at home.
Yep. Yep.
She
I'm out.
waited until like 10 o'clock and we still were nowhere near done. She's like, I'm taking.
Now see at the source, y'all were able to stay like 24 hours if you wanted to, probably. And that vibe, when I was an intern, you could stay 24 hours. But at Harris, you had to be out by 9. Rare that you were able to stay past 9 o'clock.
Hmm.
You would have to hope you would have to hope that Benny in the mailroom and all of them would be able to stay.
Is it because the
Once the
building
mail,
just locked down after 9
yeah,
or?
they locked down after 9.
Oh, wow.
So we used to be on deadline, like trying to get it in. Now, mind you, at one point, I was heading up like 4 or 5 magazines at Harris. So I had
Okay.
King, Rides, Dunk, Box, and Bubble. Um, I would jump, I would jump in here and there with Brian Scotto on 0 to 60, and me and Elliot had Hip Hop Soul. So I'm editing out at any given day. I got rounds of drafts from all 5. So I'm just getting handed paper stacks, paper stacks, paper stacks. See? And it's funny, my glasses over there. I have to wear glasses.
You see mine.
I see you, bro. All them years up looking on the screen and point seven type
Yep.
because the designer don't want to give us more space. Crazy, man.
They don't know
And
that struggle.
they don't know that
Y'all
struggle.
internet kids don't know that struggle.
They don't know that. They don't know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about editing, fighting with yourself about which explosive quote has to get in because you can't make both of them get in. Taking whole sections of copy out. It's like taking your heart with you. It's like, oh damn, man, that transition was crazy.
They will
Those
never
days are
know
gone.
the frustration of trying to meet word counts.
Oh my goodness, man. Especially if you, especially if you had like one of them tough designers that wasn't moving a photo half an inch. It's like, yo, if you move it half an inch, I can get the line in there, bro. Like, nah, I need the glare to go this way. It's like, but- and then they're like, just take that line out. No, I need that glare. You know what I'm saying? So I think about that, man. I think about like all the long nights I sacrificed and missed out on things with my daughters,
Mm,
certain recitals and stuff that I might miss because we in closing, or because you got to take a trip, or all the things that I missed professionally.
yeah.
I had to sacrifice because I'm like, nah, I gotta go home. I can't stay at this conference, or I can't speak at this thing, or I can't do that. So
Y-
there was a healthy balance with me of picking and choosing. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right,
Do
they're
you
gonna
remember your
forget me.
the toughest choice? Because I'll tell you an anecdote.
Yeah.
When they had Dilla weekend in Miami,
Uh
I
huh.
missed a father daughter dance and had to make it
Wow.
up to mine
Wow.
later. And we had date night, daddy daughter date night at Grand Lux. That's why.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So when did
Yo.
you have to make a tough choice between your daughters and work?
Oh, my daughter's in work. I was gonna say one of the tough ones was missing a family funeral because I had to work. I had to be at a shoot somebody huge, and I couldn't make that. That one still sits with me. You know, it was just no way that I could do it. And the family understood, but I didn't understand. I was like, damn, man, I really want to be there without. For my daughters, it was probably, I think one of Taylor, my oldest. She was she was in like dance in high school and stuff, and I missed one of her dance recitals. I was so mad. My wife had to send me like video. I was so tight, man, and but I was out hustling, getting paper because at that point I was freelancing. I had gotten from Bob, and I
Mm-hmm.
had to go out West Coast to get some money,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
I,
one of those
I I
things.
I know I know
It
that
hurt.
grind. I know
You know
that
what I'm
grind
saying?
well. I know
But
that
one
well.
time, this was the craziest thing. One time, I chose both. I was like, all right, I think I can make it happen. I was in New York. They called. We had a big, like a huge deal meeting in Silicon Valley. They were like, "Can you get here tomorrow?" But the next day was was Tamia's Christmas recital, and she had been practicing all through the house, lines and everything, and I wanted to see it. So I left New York, flew to San Jose, did the meeting, jumped on a red eye, flew back to New York, caught the recital, got back up, went back to San Jose, finished the week of now that we had the meeting to finish the like the debriefing aspect of how we were gonna make this deal work. So jump, 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 stayed there for a couple of days and then jump back. But I made it in 24 hours, man. I made it back for my baby's joint. That one right there, I was like, I gotta get that of the year because I knew if I missed that one, she would have been upset.
You
But I
got
made it work.
good job, Dad. Good job,
Yes,
Dad.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna come back to the girls, because we got so much to talk about, but I do want to talk about your dad. What
Yes.
was your relationship? What's your relationship like with your father?
Now, and I only say now because I'm older, and when my mom married my stepdad, I was separated from my dad for about 5 years. We spoke, but the relationship wasn't as tight. Like from like 11 to like 15. 'Cause from 11 to 14, we were in Japan, and my dad couldn't visit. Those prices were crazy back then, and we couldn't visit. The prices were crazy
Right.
to like fly back. And this is in the 80s. It was like $7,000 to fly back then. It's crazy. And we would try to write, keep in touch. We didn't have a house phone during that time. We'd have to go onto the Air Force base and schedule times and stuff and try to catch people with nobody had cell phones. It was really tough to stay in contact with them. But before that, from my birth to 11, he would pick me up on the weekends from my mom or my grandmother's house from my mom, and I would go over to that style Revoy projects where Fab is from, and I'll be there on the weekend or on Halsey and Patchen. Um, me and my dad was Batman and Robin back then. Like literally, that was our nickname.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he was a track star for Adelphi University. So he has like a bunch of New York and East Coast like track records, world record type shit.
Is he from
And he
Brooklyn?
he's from Brooklyn. Yeah, he's from
Okay,
Brooklyn.
that's why.
Um, yeah, yeah, and he went to Boys and Girls High. He has a bunch of records there. This kid just recently broke one of his records. That's been like for like 45 years. And I was like, yo, Dad, you ain't mad? He was like, nah. I was like, I'd be mad as shit. Dad. Like, them buck gonna take my shit down. He was like, I know how that feels because I took down some of the older heads joints. And I remember how they wasn't really that happy
Hmm.
about it. They were
Right.
they were cordial, but they weren't that happy. He
Right.
was like, I ain't want to be like that.
Right.
But he still got a bunch of them still up there. But it was like some significant ones this kid had recently broke. But me and my dad, man, like he's such a cool dude. I never really seen him fly off the handle. He never beat me. He like plucking my ears. If I did something stupid, pow, like a pluck, that was it. Never yelled at me. Always spoke life to me, even as a kid. Would always like, you know, press education, but he was just like mega cool. And then he became the track coach for the girls team at Adelphi when I was a kid. I must have been like 6. Man, I had all them fly chicks taking care of me, bro. They was taking care of the kid, man. I was like, this the daddy stuff. He's so cute. Da, 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 da. I'll be laid down on him, faking sleep. I was faking like I was asleep. So I have to lay on him. You know, like I'm one of them kids running all around and then get tired. And we on like the van. My dad had like a track van. We would have to take the track team everywhere. I'd be all laid out on them like freaking sleep, bro. Just trying to feel a little bit of breath. You know what I'm saying? Little funky kid, funky kid, man. But yeah, I think of stuff like that when I think of my dad, man. He's so cool. And then now, this is the craziest part. We just had a family reunion, or more so like a family gathering, cruise.
Hmm.
We went to Bermuda from New York. My dad flew up. Oh yeah, my stepmom didn't come, but it was all my family. It was 54 of us on this cruise. My daughters, everything. So you know, like on the cruises, they have like the club. You could go dancing and everything at night. So every night, everybody was going to the club. Everybody thought they expected me to go in the club. I'm like, I'm on vacation. I go to the club. I'm in the club all the time. Like, or I gotta go to bed. My dad and my daughters went clubbing, and every night they would send me videos of them dancing. Where you at? Where you at? And I'll be in the room looking at like a movie on Netflix. I'm like, I'm glad y'all having a good time. I can't do it. But it warmed my heart that my daughters have that memory. They're making like these incredible times with my dad at the club. They dancing to like get at me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
That was going to be one of my questions. Like, what's your father's relationship like with your kids?
Oh man, they're adored by him, and I feel like he looks at them as like an even greater version of me. You know what I'm saying? Like they could call him, ask him advice, whatever. It's a really cool. And it's funny, while we've been on, he just called me because he just got in town. So I think he's trying to tell me he's on his way, but I declined him.
Sorry, Pop. We won't be too much longer, but yes.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I declined him. But then my stepdad,
Mhm.
this is the crazy part about my stepdad. My stepdad is like the total opposite. Not in a way of like, being mean or anything. He's just like he's from Harlem. Super hustler. That's where I learned to hustle. That's where I learned how to like you get people to do what you need them to do type shit. He's a manipulator in the best way, if that can be used as a word in a good way. But it's also about being keen and observant about your surroundings, as well as being what situations can turn into. He was always having me think forward. This happens, now what happens? You do this, what does this look like now? And then if this gets funky, how do you fix it? What do you do he was like the analytical side for me. My dad was like the heart side, and my stepdad was more like the analytical. And because he's from Harlem, he's from Sugar Hill, so ain't too much heart up there.
Ain't no love in
Ain't
the
no
heart of the
love.
city.
My dad just showed me like work ethic because of like his determination and dedication to working out and being in tip top shape and just
Hmm.
being all about like how do you get your family out of poverty.
Yeah.
That's how
So,
my dad was.
so you had these two men in your life that you were able to pull from.
Yeah.
Um, when you were parenting your daughters, who did you see coming out more, your dad or your stepdad, in terms of
My dad.
parenting style?
My dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dad leads with empathy. Stepdad is is very much like that's some stupid shit, man. Fucking do that don't make sense. Which you need as well. You need that. You need that. You need that. Um, so I would say, but if I would say I would mix the two, but I would have to edge out to my dad. Yeah.
Now,
Because my wife is the disciplinarian.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like in that dynamic. Yeah.
same with me. Same with me.
Yep.
And with me, with my parents, it was my dad was a disciplinarian and my mom was the heart.
Oh,
She
got
was the empathizer. But in
it.
my
Yeah.
house, my wife is definitely the disciplinarian. Speaking of
Word.
Carmela's, I have to speak on your late mother.
Yeah.
How does she impact your parenting style?
Oh my goodness, man. I would have to say she helped raise them with me. Um, and I can't front my mother-in-law, Miss Brenda, is probably the sweetest, most thoughtful individual I've ever met. She raised our girl because like while me and Neek were at work, we had the girls with her before they were able to go to school. So she raised them up until school age. And then in school age, once they started going to Our Lady of the Lord, she would pick them up and bring them back to the house. And then she would go home in Brooklyn. Or she might stay here. But that woman raised our girl. Our girls do certain things a certain way because of her. Oh, you know how grandma do it? There ain't no other way. Even though there's like eight other ways, they not doing the eight other ways. They're doing the way grandma did. Now, that's my wife. That's my wife's mom. Before my mom passed, that was like the fun grandma. You go over to her crib, staying up all night. You might even get a sip of liquor. She might be like, "Yo, don't tell your father." You know what I'm saying? That's how my mom's was, and she would take us to like different spots or whatever. But my mom showed them culture.
Hmm.
My mom was very vibrant, very free spirited. She cursed like a sailor. She cursed like DMX actually.
Wow.
You know, like how DMX at the end of the ring, he's like, "Jeez, motherfucker." That's how my mom used to talk regular.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
She like, "Yo, what the fuck is up, Jay?" Oh no, ma, it's kind of sunny out. That's what I miss most, bro. Everybody talk about like you hear different people they've lost a parent or they lost a loved one that was very significant in their lives, and they be like, "Oh man, I miss grandma's fried chicken, and I miss this that." I miss my mother's jokes. I miss the fact that that was like one of the only people, no matter what mood, she could make me laugh. And I mean, There was times with me, her, and her brother, her younger brother, my uncle A. He's fucking Eddie. He looks like him and he sounds like him. It's funny like him.
Mm.
We would be at funerals,
You would be
us
where?
three, at funerals,
Okay.
and they got jokes about the deceased, about the people there, about the preacher, about the church. Yo, bro, I was like, yo, I'm the adult in the situation. I got my mom on this side, my uncle on this side. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta stop, man. I can't do this. I get up, like I can't, because they got me cracking the fuck up, like in the church. You know, I miss. That's what I miss, man. I miss being able to go to her crib, just pop up on her and be like, yo, ma, I got you your soup. She used to like, yo, it's crazy. She used to like cow foot soup. I used to have to go to like a Jamaican spot, go get her
That's why I
food.
thought you were from the Caribbean at first. I was like,
Right. My family, they Trini. Oh, they Trini, man. Cause my whole family's from South Carolina. We are as slave master groomed as you could be. But my grandmother, my mom's mom, when her and my grandfather broke up, she started dating this Trini dude. They started dating in like the 70s. I grew up with like my grandfather, her ex-husband, and my step grandfather to a degree. They never got married, but they were common law.
yeah.
And I had a Trini grandfather. And that man instilled, that's like, oh man, this is dope, father to father. So, you know, he was another integral part of my life because being a Trini guy that he was and super educated, all he cared about was my grade. That's it. What you got on that test you're talking about? What you get, boy? See, you didn't study. That's the problem. You want to play the damn game. That's your problem, and then mess with the girls. Like it was crazy. He was just like that, bro. And then he would like cook all this crazy shit. Shit was mad hot and spicy and peppery. And he used to make it extra hot. So me and my uncles wouldn't eat enough so he could have all of it. But just like roaches, we got immune to that shit. We was like, bring it on.
He putting Scotch bonnets in there.
No, you be like, yeah, we ready. You like, yo, this is hot. But when you better eat what's in that pot. You know what I'm saying? I was lucky, man. Every night it was crazy. It was crazy. In the summertime, it was even iller because him and my grandmother, their favorite thing after work was looking at Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And this man was a master at Jeopardy. That was like one of my things. I wanted to get him. I wanted to get him the Jeopardy. I know he would have been hilarious on that shit. With his afro and that accent, and he's so very. Yes, Alex. What is Troubadour? Yes, Alex. What is Malcolm X? You say some shit. Yo, Jerry, he probably would have said some shit on purpose just to get it out into the world, you know? Wrong on purpose, you know? I bet it all. How much you bet, Jackie? I bet it all. But he was very instrumental, and we used to battle in Jeopardy, man. So even now, like that's my thing. In the summertime, I'll be outside playing, and the lights come on. I could stay out a little bit late, but oh shit, Jeopardy coming, and I'll run upstairs. Well, sometimes my friends will come with me. I'll do my little Jeopardy thing with them, use the bathroom, and go back outside. You know what I'm saying? I miss those days too, man. He was very much a father in my life.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Um, I wanted to so what for these folks who were so pivotal for you as
yeah,
adults, what was their reaction when they found out that you were having kids? Like your mom, your dad,
man.
your grandparents, like Datwon, You raising Pickney, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. To be honest, him in particular, I think he thought I would have kids earlier because we had Taylor when I was 25. And most of my family and cousins and friends, they had already had their kids. Everybody was having kids at like 17, 18, 19, 20. So I was like the old man. Oh, they was finally having a kid? Goodness gracious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted my life to be set up a little bit different. I didn't want to struggle like them. You know what I'm saying? And even at 25, I was still like, ooh, it's going to be tough. And my mom was like super excited because she loved me. You know, it's like, oh, like her girl having grandchild. So
Yeah.
my dad as well. My grandfather was alive at the time. He was so happy to be a great grandfather. He was super excited. And I love that for him, you know. And my grandmother that I was talking about, she was a lifelong RN at King County. So she actually helped me be born because she was the nurse
Oh.
when I was born with my mom. But it was funny. She said that she had worked a double that day. So she said she just made sure I was crowning and it was like, all right, y'all go to the house. It's like she was like, yo, Derek, I love you, but I was tired. She said my girls had your mom and you. I'll see
Uh,
you tomorrow.
oh my God.
Or so she was there when I was born, but she broke out. But yeah, they were all so happy. And then my wife's side was like, yeah, they in need about time. Because at that point we had been together like 6, 7, no, 7, 8 years at that point. Because we was high sweetheart. So we had already been together forever. Yep, and we had our first apartment right there, Washington and Montgomery, which was crazy. We still in the hood, but just outside, like just outside across from Botanical Gardens.
I don't
So if
know how
anybody
we
want to come
managed to
back,
live such parallel lives. Because,
yeah.
my first apartment was Montgomery between Bedford and Rogers.
Oh, you was right up the block.
Yeah. Right down the
Oh,
block from Medgar Evers.
yeah,
And
and Uncle Ralph.
yeah, Uncle Ralph's. That's how I knew Ray DeJean because he used to rest in
Oh,
peace.
yep.
I used to go to
Rest
his
in peace.
comedy joints right down the block at that restaurant.
And how about this? Ray DeJean,
Mm.
baby moms would live next door to me. So he used to be on the block all the time, and we used to
Mm.
always hear about the comedy shows and go to those back in the day when he used to host on Video Music Box. He was a superstar to us,
Yep.
and he used to come on the block and be chilling. Everybody messed with him, man. Much love to the God, man. Much
For
love to him.
real. So you see, you
Yeah,
were in Montgomery because
yeah.
I was yeah, I got, and then we moved to Flatbush, the patio gardens, and then shit got
Okay.
wild. And Mel was like, "I'm
Yep.
about to have this baby. We need to get a house. We need to get out of here."
That's the same thing. That's the reason why we came out to Queens. And like back then, we were like the tail end of that get successful, you migrate to Queens or Long Island.
Yeah,
We're the last. I think we're the last of that era
yeah,
where
mm-hmm.
that was the thing that you did.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you was in Brooklyn and then or Harlem, and you
yeah.
got a little bit of paper to Queens and Long Island. You go
To get a little backyard situation, you
right,
know.
right, exactly,
I
bro.
tried to stay in
Exactly.
Brooklyn, but we couldn't afford a house in Brooklyn. This was
It was too
2002.
crazy.
Then
Yep.
the houses in Brooklyn were just like out of control.
I wanted a house in Brooklyn, like a brownstone or something like that, but it was just out of control. And we lived in a brownstone my senior year in high school. Like my junior and senior year of high school, we lived in a brownstone. My mom and my twin brothers and my sister. And then when I graduated, my mom moved to Whitecroft. But it was wild, man. Like now I'm looking at my backyard now, and this is where we've had all types of like beautiful gatherings with our fam. My daughter just shot her first music video. And we used the backyard. I'm like, free location.
Yes, talk to me about that. I had that on my list of
Yeah,
questions. So we could. I saw the music video, and I was like,
yeah.
look at this now.
Yo, it's crazy, bro. I can't even explain how amazingly and excitedly proud I am of her. She's really taken her talents, and I mean, when she was living with us, because she's a freshman at Howard now, but when she was living with us, like these last couple of years in high school, every day, 9:30, she in the basement playing guitar, playing piano, doing her vocals, looking at old school, you know, greats doing their thing live, like what they're doing live and peeping their style. Because I told her that, God rest his soul, uh, D'Angelo. I told her that Questlove and D'Angelo studied Soul Train tapes while putting Voodoo together. I told her that, and she just started. She was gone. Like she started studying everybody. Tina Turner. She started studying Sade, and then live, not just their vocals, not just the music. She was looking at their live performances, like what their band looks like, what's the sequencing, what their costuming is like, how they're acting it out. She's crazy, and now she just got the internship at Howard Radio, so they're about to fill it.
Nice,
That girl is
nice.
done.
So was she influenced at all by your career in music journalism? Like, what did she?
I believe so. I believe so. I
Hmm.
think the one thing that she says all the time is that whatever music I play, because her mom played like the R&B staples that any black kid could get. You know what I'm saying? The Luthers, Marvin Gaye's, the Aretha. She played all the like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s R&B. I'm the hip hop head, so I'm introducing her to Jay Dilla, Mos Def, Tribe, Ludacris, everybody. I'm introducing her to all of those. And the one I used to, so when they all used to live and they were all going to Our Lady of Lord, I would get them up by playing Jodeci. You gotta get on up. I used to blast that every morning. Yes, there you go. You gotta get on up. Now, it was so funny to me because they'll be like drunk with sleep, and here I am with this Beats pill. Gotta get. They used to be so mad, and then I would keep the music going as far as like once they get up, they all get dressed, they got their uniforms on. It's time to get in the car. So when you get in the car, sometimes I would play Hot 97 just to let them hear like what they playing that morning. But most of the time, I would play like Most Def Roses, Georgia.
That
I would
is
play.
that is my youngest Jamie's favorite song. That's so
Yo, we
crazy.
got that's why
That's
we
so
moved
crazy. I used to play that for them all the time.
time. I used to play that on the way to school for them.
Yeah. It's
'Cause it's
such
such
a
a feel
beautiful record
good.
because they were taking piano
Yeah.
lessons at the time.
Oh,
So
that's what's
that
up.
was like I was like, oh, here's a nice song of piano that you can listen to in that. And they love the drawer. So that was just like the whole.
Like make my pretty picture, like get my crayon. You know how Georgia she killed it. And the reason why I did it, I wanted them to go into school with like a uplifting feeling.
Yeah. Yep.
So I
Yep.
would play that, and then it got to the point like if I didn't play, they'd be like, "Yo, you ain't play Georgia today. You didn't play you didn't play Roses." I was like, "Oh, my bad. I'll play it in the morning." You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know it started to become a thing.
Oh man. Because
So
even the
my,
version with Most, he's just
it's
pouring
crazy.
so much positivity out in
Yeah.
that verse. Oh my God.
I
That's so
wanted them to
crazy.
feel that in the mornings, bro. I want them to feel that. So my youngest, she also became like a vinyl head. So she go on her own. She go beat digging on her own, and she started making beat stuff. Yeah, man. Like she would see like that was something that I was trying to get back into it for a while. So I would take her to different record shops. The next thing I know, she's putting me on a record shop,
That's fire.
joints in Brooklyn and stuff, and then we'd go record shopping. Yeah, like those were the best times with for me as a parent to see like my daughter embrace something that I love too, and I didn't push it on her.
That's me
And
and
then
De
she
La
ended up
Soul.
got
That's me and
yeah.
mine and De La Soul. I took them to the Oodles of O's donut joint last year
Wow.
and
Yeah.
got autographed T-shirt and everything. And they were like, because they when they were in their dance class, it was me, myself, and I was the first De La Soul song that the teacher played for them, and that's how they became a De La Soul fan. So when their music came to streaming, then it just started.
On. It
That's
was
why,
on.
and she's back here. I still got the balloon, the daisy
I still got
from.
it too.
I
I
still
didn't I
got.
didn't I didn't it's right there.
He's going to. If you're listening and not watching, he's going to get. My
I still
man.
got it, bro.
I
And you know
still
why I kept it? You
this
got
this
yours.
still got mine. Still got mine.
Ain't that crazy, bro? We both grabbed them.
I was
That's
Denzel. I'm
almost
leaving here with something. I'm leaving here
no
with something.
I'm gonna run away. And the reason why I keep it, not even just for Dave's, which is enough to keep it for Dave's, memory and how much I love him as an MC. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. You're gonna bug out. It's two reasons. I had the best time with y'all that night, and y'all didn't know, but my mom was sick during that time.
Mm.
So that was like my first time out in a minute, and I felt good being around my brothers. It was you, Chuck, Mac. Everybody was together, and we was bugging. And you see it in the photos. I'm bugging out. Like I'm so hyped. I got the weirdest faces in those pictures because I'm so happy to be with my brothers, and it was such a beautiful, meaningful thing. And then like 2 days later, my mom passed. So I keep that because I remember that night and how happy I felt, even though it was like a hard time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just thank y'all brothers for being my brothers like that. Like we the ones that's been. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So I love our brotherhood.
For facts. For facts. Oh my God. Um. You talking about the music? I wanted to not forget. The family went viral for one of those gatherings in the backyard
Yes,
when y'all dressed up like Michael Jackson.
the whole fam. We had
So
everybody.
talk to me. Is that something? Was
Yeah.
that something that you guys did normally? And when did you realize that it became a social media
Oh
viral
my
moment?
goodness. This is like maybe 2 years ago. My middle daughter Tanae, that's the super creative one. She's out of control with it. We was just all talking. And normally what we do is we have like big family gatherings in Brooklyn at Circle Park, which is literally connected to Botanical Gardens entrance. So if you go into the Botanical Gardens this way, you go into the gardens. But if you go up the ramp, up thing, you go into Circle Park. So it's like an extension of Prospect Park. And every 2 years, we would just invite the whole family. I'm talking like 100 people. We had food and everything. But then it became a lot because then the neighborhood started coming. It became a lot. So then we was like, all right, we're gonna scale it down, have it at the house, and we usually have my aunt's house in St. Albans. That's the normal hub. But then our family started becoming the hub. So then we was like, all right, cool. We getting the torch passed over to us, and my middle daughter was like, yo, we should theme it. She's like, we should do just a Michael Jackson appreciation party. It wasn't his birthday. It was nothing. It was ah, it was nothing connected to anything in particular. It's him. So everybody had to come dressed up as some version of Michael Jackson. And since she's like a mini producer and her TikTok, she started chopping it up like a real video. And I did off the wall Michael with the wig. I had the suit. It was and it went viral, man, because people was like, "Yo, why we ain't think of that? Oh, I want to be in y'all family. Can I get invited to the next one?" Like, yo, the comments and then Shade Room picked it up. Like they mentioned it on TMZ, I believe. It was crazy, bro. It was like I couldn't believe it, man. Millions upon millions of views later, people was hitting us like, and then my daughter was getting interviewed. Yeah,
Who do you remember who interviewed her?
some spy did a piece on her and used her quotes from like stuff that she had wrote and everything, and they had reached out to her. I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is what going viral is.
Facts.
You know, this is different. And then I went viral this year on TikTok,
Did for what happened
bro. I crashed out at the end of Straw.
at the end of what?
You know the Tyler Perry movie Straw?
Tyler Perry movie Straw?
Yeah, with Taraji Henson.
Yes.
It's such a twisted ending. I didn't know that it was a trend on TikTok of people recording people seeing the ending for the first time. So my wife and my daughter got me on camera seeing, catching my reaction to the end of Straw. And this was like a TikTok thing. I had no idea. So they saw me, that was this year. They saw me crash out over the ending. And it went viral, man. It's like 7 million views or something crazy
What?
right now.
I
It's
missed that one. 'Cause
insanity.
I'll be honest. I haven't followed Tyler Perry's work since I left BT.
Yeah. Nah, bro, you gotta watch that one,
It's
man. That one is
crazy because I'm still triggered by the one he did some years ago with Taraji and that
yeah.
ending. What was the name of that one? Oh, that's when she was married to a dude. Hmm? And and she ended up on a boat and we were like, how the hell did she get on
Indecent
the boat?
indecent or something like that.
It was one of those crazy,
Yeah.
she was playing this woman who was like a woman scorned. And yeah.
Yep.
So after that, I was like, you know what? I need a break from Tyler Perry movies. But
Yo, he was really twisted for this one though. He was
okay. All
twisted,
right.
bro. Twisted.
I'm going to have to
It's
go
on
check it
Netflix.
out. It's on
It's on Netflix.
Netflix? All
Yeah.
right.
And it was like a TikTok challenge, not even a challenge, but like a thing where people were taping like their family seeing the ending. And mine was the craziest because I wilded out in the house. So all my friends was hitting me like, "Yo, Day, is this you?"
So that's with the Michael Jackson one. I didn't even realize it was y'all at first because I saw the video making the
Wow.
rounds. Like this family loves
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, and it wasn't until like maybe the second or third time I'm like, wait, that backyard looks familiar because I
Right.
remember being there for I forget which daughter was leaving for college,
Yup. Yup. Probably
and
Tanae.
yeah, when Tanae was leaving for college, and I
Yup.
was like, yo, and then I looked closer and I'm like, wait a minute, is that Datwon? And I was like, yo,
Yo, it's crazy, bro. So now, like, they asking us what we gonna do. The girls are coming up with a theme now. They said they got one. They gonna let us know. So we gonna do it next July too.
oh my god, well maybe D'Angelo, um,
Yo,
because I did want to talk about that because
let's talk
just
about
yesterday, if people
it. Yeah,
didn't realize, we lost a giant
we
in
did, man.
music who, was a father who bothered himself
Yes,
and was
yes.
probably and whose music was probably responsible for quite a few children being
Oh yeah,
conceived. if we're
we all
being
know it.
if we're keeping it 100.
Yeah, we
um
all know it.
what was your I know it's barely been 24 hours, but
Yeah,
what's your thoughts on us losing D'Angelo, man?
his music was so pivotal in the early days of my writing that I used to play him while I wrote about other people. So say if I'm on deadline for a piece on like a rapper or whatever, I would usually write super late at night I throw on either Erica Badu, Chico DeBarge, or D'Angelo. So many times, like, that Voodoo album got me through a lot. The first one got me through a lot. But Brown Sugar, I feel like there's no one that was able to capture that 1950s, 60s, 70s sound and bring it to the future and bring it to current day, but still have the grounding elements of what that music did for us. Not even, and that music back then was fueling civil rights movement. His his version of it was fueling like the new age black love movement, where we're supposed to love each other with that kind of love. He's telling us to like love each other like how they used to. Like let's get that going. And let's sit in the funk and let's get this blues out. And I wrote a little tribute to him, and it's probably my shortest tribute that I've written for an iconic artist, but I felt like I was succinct in it because he didn't play for time. He was like, it ain't ready. Let this stew a little more.
He didn't play
Like
for
for
time. He made
he
us
didn't
wait 11
he,
years
he
between albums.
yo man, it was crazy. His first and second was like 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then second and third was like 14, and then it's been 10 years, 11 years since the last one.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was on some schedule to get us something soon. We probably wasn't going to see, even if he did live, probably wasn't going to see nothing for another 3, 4 years, which would have been like 18 years in between the last album. He had to have an impact with 3 albums,
It's
and
quality.
it's quality, man. And when you go to iTunes, they have like the essential albums
Yeah.
of artist. Most artists got like seven albums, and only one is up there, or maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
All
All,
3 of his albums
all
is
three.
the
Easy.
essential album. All
Easy.
3 is essential. Even iTunes don't be fucking with people like that.
And it's
Even
so
iTunes be
different
like,
too. It's like
yeah,
Voodoo's different from Brown Sugar and Black Messiah
oh
is
yeah,
different from Voodoo. 3 totally different moods, but still
automatic.
essentially him
Yeah,
touching
because
upon different, you know.
you got like the cool out lounge joint with Brown Sugar. You got Voodoo, which is like more Afro punk, and then Messiah joint feels like black church at a club though,
With some funk.
with some funk. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Questlove, I automatically thought of Questlove.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And what that man means to us as a historian and culture documenter.
Yeah.
Um,
I was thinking about Raphael Sadiq because we
oh
lost
yeah, you work with
Dwayne
yeah,
Wiggins earlier this
he's
year,
still
and
there.
now just wrap him in bubble wrap. Just
Yeah, we gotta hold him because he's part of the sauce. Him and D'Angelo, they made some classics. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hope so because son could sing.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I found out earlier this year when Angie Stone passed that
me too.
they had a son who was doing music as well. I was like, oh,
Yeah, and I saw like a clip of him and Angie Stone together, and they were like kind of like dancing back and forth on some singing stuff. I was like, wow. And you could see like how much he enjoyed being around his mom too, Bad man to lose your your foundation, excuse me, foundation so close within each other.
yeah. Or R.I.P.
And
D'Angelo. I want to close
definitely
out
much love.
on a happy note.
Yep,
You
yep.
turned 50 this year.
Yes, I did, bro.
and your family
Yeah.
pulled off the surprise to
Praise,
end all
praise.
surprises for your birthday party.
Loved them. I loved
And
them. I
I
loved.
was privy to have a front row seat
Thank you for coming, bro. Thank you.
thing. So walk
Thank
us
you.
through
Yeah.
the hour or so leading up to your
Yeah.
50th birthday surprise.
So the hour or so, we're here in the house, and my wife is getting ready, and she's like, "Well, the dinner is going to be a little different this year. You know, it's your 50th. I wanted something, intimate." So she's downplaying the level. She's like, "I just want something intimate. It's going to be dope. Close fam." I'm like, "All right, I figured that since we got to get dressed up, you getting me all dressed up, so I'm getting dressed up." But she was like, when we got in the car, we're getting closer to the venue. She was like, "I don't want you to see the venue." I put this eye mask on. And I was like, "Why I gotta put an eye mask on? This a bit extreme." And she was like, "Nah, because some of the stuff that we got, I don't want you to see. I don't want you to see the cake and everything before we play, and we can't move it." She was coming up with all kind of crazy shit. And they had me like in this holding area until the table so called was done. But they was really waiting for more people to come. So they had me in a holding area, and I'm up there dancing by myself. I got my phone on with the music. I'm like, "It's my birthday." I'm up there bugging. She looking at me like, "This guy has no idea." So then it was time. I guess she must have got the hint.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's time. By this time, y'all all down there, and there was so many false alarms of people coming in late.
Yo, we was tight.
Right, every time.
It was like 5, 4, 3. Oh, that's not day.
That's not day. That's not day. I heard about. My man Swan got a video of like four people coming in late each time. Y'all like,
Me
ah.
too. Me too. Yo.
Yeah. And then when it was time we got in the elevator, I couldn't feel anything because I got the mask on, so she's leading me. I was like, I just don't want to trip. And when we get in there, she takes it off, and I see basically all of my loves of my life, everybody, all my friends, family, in front of me, nothing but lights clicking and handing me champagne, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" I was just so blown away and overcome with emotion, man, and love and adulation and just grateful, man, to be here because I know it couldn't have not. Couldn't have, I almost didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And at that point in May, I was still feeling remnants of everything. So I was still like, because I feel like now, my wife keeps telling me, "Slow down, Playboy."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm closer to 100 now. And she's like, "Yo, you gotta chill with that." But around May, 75% probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just blown away at the fact that I was here. My uncles are there dancing. My dad is there. My brother, my sister. I was just like, wow, man, this is beautiful. All my industry friends, all my friends from high school, friends from the block, and we honored my mom. Man, it was a beautiful time, bro. Thank you so much for joining in.
Okay, I couldn't miss that. I couldn't miss that.
What's
You had a crack team of folks.
up? They serious too. Those ladies is serious about me, man.
Yes. Yes, they are. And it was just like, how is he not just keeping the secret was the hardest part. Like keep
That's
not
that. I don't know how everybody did that because there's some people I talked to that day. And they was like, "Oh, what you doing? What you doing for your birthday?" You know what the hell I'm doing for my birthday? They ask me shit like that. That's why I heard them after, like, "Yo, I just spoke to you."
those are the heat checks to make sure you don't
Yeah, but I
does
didn't
he
know.
suspect anything? Does he suspect
I
anything?
don't know. I didn't suspect anything on that grand scale, bro. Nothing like that. I just thought it was gonna be like a cool little dinner with the fam. And I would have been happy with that at being 50. But what I got was way more, man. And I feel everybody's like, "Oh, you deserved it," but that's the first time I felt like super grateful and was like, damn, man, this is something that I deserve, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
Well, Day, man, thank you for coming
Of course.
through and helping me restart, the Fathers Who
Like,
Bother
yes.
podcast after a hiatus of several years. Hopefully this
Yeah, man,
means
let's get it.
I'll do some more. But if
Yes.
you've been tuned in, this is your first time checking us out. We've got 50 some odd episodes before this one. Go back
Yes,
and
sir.
check it out, but definitely tell your friends. Yeah, this has
My
been
man is
great,
back.
bro.
Thank you so much, man. As a dad, like we've been talking for years about our father statuses and being
Mm-hmm.
good dads and doing what we got to do for our families. And there's so many other brothers that you've interviewed that I've been inspired by their stories as well. You know, a lot of our friends in the industry. It's different for us in the industry too, I feel, because there's like the creative pressures and things that we want to do as expression, and then we have our families that we have to take care of that's connected to that. And it's a delicate balance that somehow we find a way, even as being, black men within that.
But yeah, having each other has been helpful because I don't know if you remember, I told the
All the
story
way.
on the pod before about the first and only time I ever hit Justin. I saw
Yeah.
you that morning.
Yeah.
I got off the train at Long Island Railroad and I was like, yo, Day, I just did
Yo.
something
Yeah.
terrible. And
Yeah. Hey, yo, bro. I've only had to do it one time, and that shit, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. I was
yeah,
like, never again. Never again.
never again. I was like,
Never again.
it just was that.
Yeah,
I
I
know
couldn't do it.
he was
I'm
mouthing
not built
off.
like that.
I was like, I
You
can't. So
can't.
yeah.
And my thing was a grab up, like a grab up. Like, no, are you
Oh, you did the
crazy?
Chris Rock. I'll
Yeah, like,
shake
are
him.
you crazy? Yeah. Like,
What
are you nuts?
inspired that? What
Uh,
inspired that?
I'll tell. Oh no, no, no. I'm bugging. I'm bugging. That was a one time thing, but it was one time with my youngest. I could be real with it. There was one time it was right in this room, and she must have been like 6 or 7. And Alvin North thought, Mom, and then turned around and was about to. I was like, oh, whoa, whoa, wait. That was. I'm upset with what you're doing to your mom. I know you're not fixing your mouth to me. And she was about to go off again. I said, come here. I was like, you can either stand in that corner for however long I say, or you can take a pow on the bottom. She said, I want the pow. Yes, she did. She said, I want the pow in front of everybody. I was like, yo, this girl's different. She said, yeah, now what? So I had to give it a pow. It killed me. Because I was so like on this, like I never had to hit my kids. I never had to do anything. I never I stood on that, and it was like such a beautiful thing to stand on and be like parent different. You know what I'm saying? And that was the first time I had to do it. I gave her a pal. It was significant, but it wasn't. I ain't beat her. You know what I'm saying? I ain't beat her.
Same, but it
Yeah.
still hurt. It still hurts. It's the thought of doing it more than the like when people used to joke and say this will hurt me more than it hurts you. It really did hurt me more than
Yeah,
it.
because we had a standard. We didn't want to be like our parents. Like my dad never beat me, but my mom beat the shit out of me. Oh, oh, one of my aunts used to beat me, man. Like I used to
Mm-hmm.
run. You ever had to
Mm-hmm.
run from beating? Nah, man, I've been through it,
The
bro.
running always made it worse because you made
Even
them
worse.
tired, and they just said,
That
"Fuck it."
you might see the other end of the belt. The buckle might start swinging. You're like, oh shit, they got the hard part. Yo, man, but yeah, I did a pow and a shake one time, but that's it. That's it. And I'm like, Dag, out of 25 years, I think
I think that's a pretty good record for
I think that's a
25
good record, man.
years.
I think that's a good record, man. I think that's a good
Yeah,
record. Yeah,
man.
man.
Day,
We do
love you,
our best,
man.
bro. Love you, family. Thank you.
Yes, so I'll let you know. Yeah, we'll catch up offline, but I probably just need a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
pictures or something for the thumbnail, you
Okay.
and the girls, and then
Not a problem.
I'll let you know when this is going up. But man, thank you again. This has been Fathers Who Bother with Datwon Thomas. Peace, everybody.
Yes, it's that. Peace.